Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Casler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with another episode of Ask Dave. This question is one of those that got stuck in that 4-year black hole for a bunch of email from back then that I have recovered. So I'm pretty sure that Frank has solved his problem by now, but go ahead and read it because this may be a similar problem to what you have, having to do with living near high voltage transmission lines. It says, "Hi Dave, I live on 11 acres of beautiful North Florida land, dotted with pine and oak and perfect for wire antennas. Trouble is, the front line of the property has a triple 220 kilovolt. They're usually 3 wires. They're sending 3-phase power in the delta configuration over that. There's also a Y configuration, not WHY, but WYE. Trouble is, the front of the property connects to major power stations and it's not going to move. My issue is that the noise on 80 meters and 40 meters is S9 plus 24/7. All other HF bands are acceptable. I hate to think that I must abandon 80 and 40. What might I do to lower this noise? Frank, WB8ENS. Well, Frank, I'm assuming that your home is fairly near the front of the property. Now, one thing you could do is put an antenna a lot further back on the property and feed it with genuine open wire 600 ohm line, which has extremely low loss, and then you get away from that. Now, there are another couple of things you do. You can put a dipole, if you put the dipole parallel to the transmission lines, a horizontal antenna parallel to the transmission lines, you set up a transformer there and it's going to pick up all kinds of things. Unfortunately, those transmission lines, if you stand under them, you hear them. You hear not only a kind of a hum or buzz, but also a little bit of a crackle. And that crackle is coming from arcing. It's a very high voltage, and if there's insulators, they're glass insulators, they're designed to hang down so water doesn't get up inside them, although of course it does. But eventually they get dirty enough that a little bit of electricity can find a path and it'll arc. And that's the arc that creates the very broadband noise. If you put a dipole this way, directly perpendicular to them, you will catch a little bit of noise coming from down the way. But it will be better than putting it parallel. And I mean, you want to write grounds and everything, make sure your grounding system is perfect. The other option is polarization diversity. You've got huge electromagnetic fields transiting horizontally. So put up a vertical antenna. You're now polarization diverse from the power lines. And that can help, again, get it as far away from them as you can. If you've got 11 acres, you've got some distance, a few hundred feet, that you can get that antenna back. I'm going to say the most inexpensive vertical antenna that I would recommend that I know is the DXCommander Classic. They make a lot of different antennas, and the guy who runs that, he has his own YouTube channel and he's quite a character. But the DXCommander Classic is the least expensive, full-size vertical. What it actually is it's a fan antenna, except it's vertical. Now, it does need radials. Now, what you can do, you go back into your trees, set the thing up on the top of a pole, okay, and then run tuned radials out from it. You need to be at least about 10 feet high to do this. Run tuned radials, 2 for each band, a quarter wavelength long. So for 40 meters, that's 33 feet. For 20 meters, that's half that, and so on. You can spread these radials out to kind of connect to the other trees. Get it down below the point where the tree will bend much in the wind. Put a bungee cord on it or something to absorb that sort of thing. And then you can put the antenna on top of that. These antennas are very light. I would still recommend guying it if it's going to be out amongst the trees, because you guys get hurricanes and nasty weather events out there. So make sure everything's guyed with some rope or something, and it can be totally hidden. This will be 600. 600 to 50 is actually 12 to 1 balun if you're going to use open wire line. The reason I recommend open wire line is because the loss is so small that you'll get that signal back to you. Now, if you don't balance that line correctly, it will act as an antenna, and you don't want that. So if you use 450 ohm window line. I've got a piece of that. This is window line. Okay, it's 450 ohms. You need a 9-to-1 balun. So you're coaxed to the 9-to-1 balun, or it can come right out of your antenna tuner that way. And then this end going out to the 9-to-1 balun that then feeds with a piece of coax into the antenna, which will be somewhere between 30 and 50 ohms on the transmit, then with your tuner. Now note that this is balanced. Also note that the energy travels in a space around the wire. It travels in this space around the wire. So you can buy standoff insulators for this, put it into some of those trees, keep this thing up in the air, don't put it on the ground. It doesn't like being on the ground. Coax can be on the ground, but of course there in Georgia you've got all sorts of little chipmunks and squirrels who just absolutely love eating plastic. Distance will help you quite a bit. So there's some options for you to do. Unfortunately, the power company, usually on those big transmission lines, there's often not a lot they can do. Now, if there is arcing and it's making a big arc, they're losing power. Okay, they don't want to lose power to an arc that they could be selling to somebody. So if you call them up and talk to them, they may be willing to at least do a survey of the area around there. Okay, so I hope that helps, Frank, and all of the rest of you who have that problem. If you'd like to help support this channel financially, there's some links down in the description in the text below, and you can go to one of those, pick one that works for you. You can do it a one-time, you can do a monthly, several different ways. So until we next meet, 73.